Here's our top 5 favourite Brio accessories that you can buy in 2023.
Number 5 is the Brio 33736 Grand Roundhouse. Now we know the Grand Roundhouse is perhaps the largest accessory that Brio offer currently, and the most expensive. However, there are a couple of great things about it that we really like. Firstly, the building itself. It's heavy, it's almost entirely wooden, except for the doors. Around the back, you have this nice sliding door which access is perfect for little hands to reach in and place the trains.
Inside the Roundhouse there is space for 5 different trains, all accessible via their own door, and there's about 18 centimetres of track for each train to sit on with the doors closed, which is the perfect size for the 36003 turbo train and carriage.
You also get this nice turntable included, which you can use without the Roundhouse. We've made several tracks now where we send multiple battery trains around the layout and use the turntables to send them in different directions to try and avoid crashes. One of the main disadvantages to the Grand Roundhouse is that it takes up such a large footprint on a table. However, we discovered that if you have some of the Brio incremental risers or some of the Duplo track connectors, you can use these on top, allowing you to place track on the roof, which can greatly help negate the space it takes up. Number 4, the Brio 33813 Police Station. Now, out of all of the Brio rail and road destinations that have been released, the police station is our favourite. It is perhaps the most used accessory by our son out of everything we own. From our side, it integrates well into track layouts with both the rail and road connections. You have a lift on the side of the building that lets you take the bad guys up to jail, while the police can park their vehicles below. It's also one of the smaller destinations, which helps with integrating it into layouts rather than having to build tracks around it as we've had to do with some of the others. Talking of the other destinations, that brings us on to our least favourite item, which is the 33204 parking garage. Now don't get me wrong, the playability of the parking garage is great. Our biggest issue with it is the position of the integrated train track relative to the road. Almost all the other sets seem to have a well thought out position for the track, allowing you to easily create compact layouts that link the rail and road connections. Yet, the parking garage we always find to be fiddly and awkward to make this connection. Now, I do accept that we are looking at this from a totally different perspective to what it was intended for, and it certainly hasn't stopped our son from enjoying it, but as a result, it is our least favourite destination. Okay, moving on then. Number 3, the 33253 stacking supports. We find these items to be a blessing and a curse really, which is why they're at the midway spot on our top 5. Firstly, being able to stack these items on top of each other in any direction is fantastic design in our opinion. Even carving out some of the wood from underneath the integrated track to allow for longer trains to pass through them makes them an excellent accessory with tons of layout possibilities. From our side, we don't like having open tracks in our layouts, so if we stack 2 or more of these on top of each other, we always try to integrate the open track pieces beneath, which isn't always the easiest thing to accomplish, especially when you stack 6 on top of each other and try to connect all of the tracks.
We also wish you could buy them in a larger pack than a set of 2, as it's one of the only ways to buy elevated supports now. And previously Brio used to make the 33981 track supports on a height pack, which contained 4 of these stacking supports, along with 4 grey rock supports, curves and ascending straights. In our 2024 predictions video, we made the case for a new ultimate support pack that will also contain some of these stacking supports in it. We'll leave a link to that video at the end.
Number 2 on our list is the Brio 33889 Crane and Mountain Tunnel. Now this is such a good accessory to pick up. It has tons of playable features, from the different sounds it makes when a train passes through the lower tunnel, or when you press the button on the back, to the top section detaching so you've got 2 completely separate play pieces. The crane can spin 360 degrees and reach down far enough to collect cargo from either the lower or the upper tunnel tracks. Talking of cargo, you get this gold cargo brick included in the set, and there are a few locations on the mountain that the piece can be placed. You also get this red wagon included, as well as a crane operator and 2 ascending straights for use through the upper tunnel. However, you can also run elevated track through the tunnel also. This piece would have got our number 1 spot if it wasn't for one small detail that we think Brio overlooked when designing this piece. You see, when the top section is placed in situ, there is the space for a 3rd tunnel. However, these rocks here are attached, meaning you can't get a train through it. Now you could make the point that it was never intended to have a 3rd tunnel here, and this is just the result of the top section being detachable. True, but it's positioned at exactly a 45-degree angle to the other tracks, meaning it would integrate into a track layout had these rocks been detachable. It's that little detail for us which is why it didn't get the number 1 spot. But before we tell you our number 1, we wanted to quickly look at 2 of the other accessories that we currently don't own that could have featured on this list. First up is the Brio 33391 collapsing bridge. Now we've had our eye on this set for some time, but as of yet not added it to our adventure. I think it's a nice twist on the regular elevated crossroad, whereby a train passing over top, you can press this button and the top rail cassette collapses, sending the trains falling down. The other item that could feature in a future top 5 Brio accessories video is the 33649 Central Train Station building. This is built on a section of double track which is becoming increasingly more difficult to find. It has a ticket machine complete with sounds and a clock on the top of the building. It is also one of the few station buildings that has enough space either side of the track for figures to stand without being hit by a passing train, and there's plenty of space to get hands inside for little ones. We also think our onboard camera shots will look great passing through this building. But that's for the future. Back to the here and now, and it's time for our number 1 Brio accessory in 2023. The Brio 33996 container crane. Now it was a close call for us between this piece and the cargo mountain. However, the container crane just clinched it for us. Much like the central station, this piece includes a short section of double track, which is always fun to integrate into layouts. There is also a spot for road vehicles to pull in and be unloaded. The crane is the same as the one on the cargo mountain and can spin in 360 degrees. However, it can also move forwards and backwards, allowing it to collect cargo from one end and deposit it into a ship waiting at the other end. There is also space to store 6 cargo blocks under the main crane, and plenty of space to stack additional blocks on top of that too. But the best part for us has to be the cargo chute. When you pick up the cargo, you can deposit it into this chute here, and by turning this red piece and winding the crane back up, it will separate the cargo from the magnet, sending it shooting down into the wagon waiting below. The best part of this is they included 2 little markers in the track to help line the wagons up, ready to receive the cargo. Also included is a single 2-pin carriage, 2 magnetised freight blocks, a crane operator and a life ring that sits on the harbour end of the crane on this little post here. Handy in case someone falls into the water nearby. Of all the Brio accessories available to buy right now, this is our favourite piece and one we often integrate into our layouts. So there we are, that's our list. What did we miss? Let us know in the comments below. I'm planning on doing similar videos on current trains and sets that we'll release in the next few weeks, so be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we'll leave links to all of the products mentioned in the comments below. If you want to see more of the container crane in action, take a look at this video here. Over here we've got the layout 150 where we used 18 of the stacking supports to build this epic layout. And you can see our Brio 2024 set predictions video over here. Wonder if there'll be something new to add to this list next year.